I'm with Tivon Pennicott here. He's playing at the Ari Honig gig in Smalls tonight. It's a pleasure. Thanks a million for meeting me, man.
Yeah, of course.
I'm a fan.
Of course.
I've been following your music for the past couple of years, so I basically was lucky to get a quick interview with him today in between sets. The first set was awesome, man. I loved the new effects you were using. What was that effect you were using on the sax at the last song there? I haven't really. It kind of reminded me of some, like, I don't know, Herbie kind of stuff, but it was a bit more modern.
Was it kind of like
it's a bubbly kind of like yeah. What was that?
They call that a ring mod.
Ring mic. Okay.
Ring modulator. Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah, it sounded great. It really worked.
Yeah, it's fun.
What I noticed though as well is like it didn't. I didn't necessarily hear the sax when it was playing. You know the way with a lot of effects, like the sax comes out as well. But with that, I didn't hear the sax at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was cool, like, you know, because you could,
I have the volume really far up, and then so I barely play.
Yeah.
And then it picks up the sound. That's the point, you know. We want to get all of the effect out, you know.
Right. Okay. I'll keep that in mind when I start using effects.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then
sometimes you want a little mix though. Sometimes you want a little saxophone mixed with the effect.
Right.
So
okay.
Get different, but I like the pure, the wet effect, pure wet effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was great, man. I wanted to ask you just kind of maybe a little bit about your philosophy on improvisation.
Yeah.
Because I'm a free jazz musician, as I was telling you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like one of the main things I talk to jazz musicians about. What is their philosophy? What got them into improvisation? And I don't know, what compels you to improvise, I guess.
Yeah, man, I grew up, well, my parents are Jamaican heritage.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and
were you born in Jamaica?
I wasn't. I was born in Georgia.
Okay.
But I definitely had the culture in my household growing up. And
I believe it.
Yeah, it's deep, and a lot of that culture is just being loose and dancing and singing, and you know, along with being Jamaican, we're very spiritual people. We're very religious.
Yeah.
Went to church every Sunday. Devotion before church, and we went to church on Wednesdays as well. So 2 times on Sunday and once on Wednesday, and lots of singing, lots of dancing. My mom always has a song in her heart, you know, so that's what's going on with just the spirit of just expression, you know, and that's kind of, I would say, I would give it to that, like letting the spirit lead. And a lot of times in church, when you let the spirit lead, you don't know what's going to happen. It's a lot of improvisation. You know?
Yeah.
Whether you're speaking in tongues, or one person decides to run 10 laps around the church, come back in, or someone, you know, catches a song, and a song is on your heart, and they start singing randomly. You know, that's all the spirit of improvisation, following the spirit. That's where I come from, you know. It's like a church vibe. That's kind of my philosophy.
Well, what I kind of noticed about your playing is you have elements of the sheets of sound kind of concept, maybe.
Yeah.
But you're also very rhythmic, and there's definitely like I don't know, what I hear sometimes is a lot of maybe funk or hip hop influence. Would that be fair to say? Like,
absolutely. I love rhythm, man.
Yeah, I can tell.
I love groove, man, and that's
great.
You know, that's a part of. If I'm playing free, I'm the one that would love to incorporate all types of really cool grooves. You know, it doesn't matter what is coming from all places of the world.
Yeah.
I would definitely, one of my default things would be a groove, along with the sheets of sound and all that.
Yeah, I can tell because like you go into kind of maybe your moments of colourful expression with the sheets of sound, and that's what I love about your playing. I love many things about your playing, but that is something that I really dig about, you know, especially when I've been checking out stuff online, when I've seen live concerts and live gigs and stuff. It's something that rings out to me in your playing, which I love. But that you can kind of go in between that, and then you can fall into a groove, and like you can melt it in between, which is very nice as well, but you can make it quite distinct too, which is nice because you're breaking up sections of stylistic playing, like, you know. And I think that's it keeps it interesting to my ears, you know. And I get bored quite easily, like when I'm listening to certain music sometimes, and what I like about your playing is you keep it interesting, and it sounds like you keep it interesting not just for the audience, but also for yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what jazz musicians should do. But it's what I notice about that is it's I don't know. There's something about that to me that it seems like you are searching. You're not you're not standing still, like, and you know, I really respect that. That's what I love in modern players as well. You know,
Yeah, a lot of the
you don't have it all figured out. You're still learning and still going.
a lot of my growth is being a risk taker, a fearless improviser.
Yeah,
And I've learned like that on the stage, and
Yeah.
but like you said, I like to keep myself on my own toes, you know, and surprise myself.
It's great,
so
yeah.
Sometimes it's not as clean, and the execution is not as, but
I understand.
there's other.
Yeah.
But as time goes by, you know, that is added to the bag, and
Yeah.
and you know,
It's something that like you've passed through those doorways, and sometimes it isn't the cleanest way, but yeah, it's something that refines in your mind, and you can go back to it later, and it's like, okay,
Yes.
that's something I work on. And to me, like that's what improvisation is truly about. You know, it isn't about necessarily coming in and having everything rehearsed and learned. It's about, like, you know, finding those parts in your playing that maybe like you didn't even know existed yet, and then it's like
Yeah.
and it's like it's a constant of evolution, you know, of yourself.
Yeah. I don't want to stay stagnant. Nope.
No, got to keep learning, and it's humbling as well, you know, because I don't know, like there's a lot of great players out there like yourself, but there's a lot of other players as well that it is very all the time, like it doesn't have the same kind of maybe honesty as you're playing, which I really dig, you know, and which I really like. I look for in players, hence why I got in contact with you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your music? I don't want to hold you up now before your second set.
No, I mean, I have my first tour as a leader coming up in October. I'll be going to Paris and
Awesome.
Brussels, and I don't know how you pronounce it. Bruges, Bruges.
Bruges.
Yeah, it's another place in Belgium.
Okay, lovely.
And then Madrid, doing a Cafe Central.
Is that all in the one tour?
Yeah, October 11th through 19th. You know.
Amazing.
You know, you're.
Maybe I'll be around.
Yeah.
I intend to explore the world. I've actually been in New York recording an album myself with a few guys, so I kind of intend to go more around the world now and hit up different improvisers and stuff like that, because you can only stay at home for so long, and you know, there's only so much players in your hometown, like, you know. What's Georgia's jazz scene like? Are you still living there?
No, I live here. I live in New York.
Oh, do you? Okay, great.
I've been here for about 15 years. Yeah.
Okay, amazing.
But Georgia is where my family is, and I don't really know the music scene as much as I'd like. But apparently there's some really great music, but unfortunately I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, well, you've been out of the scene obviously a while.
Yeah.
And what inspired you to come to New York? Was you just had to be here, kind of?
Yeah, I need to be amongst the best. You know, I want to be inspired by on a whim. You know.
I dig that.
Any night, you know, the best of the best can come and give me a lesson.
Yeah, that's it. Like I found, like going to even the jam sessions and different things, like it's humbling, you know, because all the players are pretty good high level, like, you know, most nights, like, and you know, it's like it keeps you on your toes, you know, keeps you humble, and you know, and it keeps your standards high, you know. So do you have any recordings coming up?
Yeah, I was just in the studio today.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
I was doing that all day, and it was great, man. I'm singing. I'm singing.
Okay.
I'm starting to sing
Brilliant.
more and more.
What kind of style of singing? Is it jazzy or is it funky?
It's like jazz funky, you know. It's me. It's along me. What I did was some of the songs that I recorded before. Any song that I write, I have words to it. But people don't usually know. But now I'm trying to just document these songs with words because I want to express myself that way.
Amazing.
So we went in and we recorded about 3 or 4 songs that I'm singing on, and then some new songs, more funky new songs that have been released.
Beautiful.
That will be released pretty soon.
So would you say it's jazz influenced funk?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're playing sax, like. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Playing through with my effects.
Cool.
And, playing some funky stuff and world grooves and roots stuff, and also singing. You know.
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
Cool. And like, as for singers, just a quick question, like, who would inspire you as a singer, who would be someone that would inspire you to sing, or someone you would think in mind when you're singing?
Well, you know, there's probably just people that I look at that stepped out of what their main instrument and then they're doing well doing that. Someone like John Batiste, who is a really accomplished pianist, but I saw this process of deciding to sing and then leaning into that and doing well. Someone like Corey Henry, even someone like Keon Harold, he has a beautiful voice, you know, has like the way they're singing. So just a lot of my peers, just watching what they're doing and listening to how great they sound. Non-singers sounding great when they sing. You know? Of course, I'm influenced by the greats. And, when I learn jazz standards, Nat King Cole is a #1 that I go to.
Great.
But when I'm singing, I'm in the higher register, you know?
Okay, yeah.
My vibe, you know?
I find like your sax playing is quite in the high register a lot.
It is.
Yeah. I thought that was quite interesting as well. There's not much players that I've heard that spend that much time in the high register as a tenor player. I don't know, I haven't noticed people, like, it's just another thing that stands to me out about your playing. Like when I'm playing tenor, it's more middle register, maybe lower register, and a bit higher, but you tend to spend quite a lot of time up there, which is...
It's true, and I've noticed that, and I thought about it, like, should I just play soprano, or...
yeah.
Just to get that up, but...
No, it's great.
I do...
Very clear up there as well.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. I do love the low register, so I want access because I need it to express myself in certain times. But that's been a challenge. That's been something that I've challenged myself to do, is to play lower more often. Right.
Okay. So well, it'll only make your higher better as well. Like
absolutely.
You know. Yeah.
But I've been thinking about, okay, let's spend some time like that right there, so that the higher stuff have more impact. That's just one of the things that I've been conscious about, thinking about.
Great. Yeah, because you have a great gentleness in your playing as well, and you can be, I wouldn't say ferocious, but you can have that ballsy attack as well. But like especially within like the higher register, you have a lovely gentleness. The notes come out, they're very refined. So it sounds like you put a good lot of work into that.
Yeah,
you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I hear it there, so I just doing it, and then it just gets better as I just continue to try to do it.
Beautiful. And what do you know what the name of the album is going to be called that you recorded today, or whatever it was? Was it an EP or an album?
It's gonna be an EP in October, but
awesome.
We're gearing up towards an album.
Beautiful.
We don't know yet.
Who was on the album?
It's Idris Frederick, great pianist, young pianist, and Kenneth Salters. He was on my first album, and Dean Torrey. He's another accomplished bassist. He actually lives in Georgia. But he lives here, and he moved like right next to where my parents live. It's kind of a random situation, but it's beautiful. Those guys.
Do they feed him dinners and?
No, they don't know. They don't know each other. Maybe they will. That group is going to be going on tour with me, and they're great, man. I'm so lucky to have them be available. They're one of some of the best musicians ever. It's sad that people don't know them, but hopefully they will, because they're amazing guys.
And when you first came to New York, how did you find yourself coming about the scene? How did you get doing your own gigs? Did you start by just going to jam sessions? Because that's something I'm learning at the moment. So that's a personal question, but also for people watching this as well.
There are many ways. Based on your personality, you can go the route of meeting someone here and there. Maybe we have the means of social media. Messaging someone and say, hey, let's set something up, like a private session, or like with a group that you like. That's a way if you want to be like. But for me, my personality, I'm out and about.
Okay,
out and about,
you're connecting.
Man,
you're networking.
It was almost too much at some point. I was out every night, learning tunes, connecting with people. Every opportunity that I got was because I was at some jam session. And we're talking Esperanza, we're talking John Batiste, we're talking Gregory Porter, Roy Hargrove. All those people that I fortunate enough to play with. Even
Yeah.
Kenny Burrell, sitting in a class jam in LA, you know, it's all from just jamming and someone hearing me. So
Yeah.
that's a big one. That's a big one.
Could you say something short about Roy Hargrove and your experience with?
Man, this guy, I would say, what's in my mind recently, he's one of the master. You know, people will kind of recycle the same compliments.
Yeah, yeah.
But for me, I'll focus on being a master at building a set list.
Okay, great.
He is amazing at what tune needs to come next.
Right.
You know, you listen to his professional sets, or when he even came to the jam session, he always knew what song fit the energy of
Yeah.
the place. And I've always taken note of that. And
Right.
I miss him a lot. You know, I miss his presence, his energy. And but he was a huge influence on me. Just, taking the music on a serious level, never forgetting the tradition, learning the history. You know, and, just being myself, being authentic. That's Roy, man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to share before we go? We're about 17 and a half minutes here, so I'm after taking up a lot of your time. I hope the band hasn't started without you.
No, we're good. No, we're good. We started 3 minutes, I guess.
Okay.
But, yeah, no, I appreciate you coming by.
No problem, man.
Talking and
Yeah, really nice.